Hello, Towers and Tantalizers, my name is Tibius Guy, and welcome back to the boss designs of Dark Souls 2. The last time I was recording, anyway, I made my way through the No Man's Wharf, and killed the Flexile Sentry, and found a way to the Lost Bastille, I think it's called, where now we have two ways to get in there. One way, where the path forward seems to be blocked by a petrified guy, which is very rude, and another way, where we found a way into some holding cells down in the bottom of a thing or something. So that's pretty much what I figured. Let's go explore around there some more right now. And hopefully run into a boss at some point, and hopefully not like just for the pursuer 4 times. Oh hey, well, look at that. That's a fog door right there. And that does look a little bit like a boss fight area. This might be a short episode. Okay, I'm paranoid now, because in the Lost Cove thing, the ghost ship area, there was just archers everywhere shooting at me, so now I'm paranoid that someone somewhere is gonna start shooting. Oh, wait, there's one over there. Oh! You see? I called it. Didn't I call it? I called it. And I bet those barrels are explosive, too. Oh, man. Ah! There! Ha-ha! Ah-ha-ha-ha-ha! I told you I knew it. You know what, honestly, the most effective thing is probably just to run up and stab that guy in the face instead of waffling around and getting hit like that. Okay, he's not dead, but he's out of my hair. Oh, hey, summoning sign. Eesh, who's the summoning sign? Lunatic Thinker. See, I kind of don't want to summon someone because I feel like would make the gameplay too easy, and part of the fun is watching me die over and over. But I also feel like I've seen the name Lunatic Thinker somewhere in my comments before. Like, I'm not sure. But this is a weird place for... Oh, hey, he could find a way up here. Hello. Took a detour. Okay, sure, why not? It's probably not someone who knows me, but... Hello.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Yeah, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Oh, he's returned to his world. Okay, so this is someone who's looking at the stream. Is it? If you are, please comment. Is this the door that leads into nothingness? Please don't jump down. Okay. That was a lot of no floor. Oh, Lunatic, hello. You were there in the chat. Thanks for the help. I had a feeling it was a weird place to find a player summon sign. Okay. Is it a boss? Oh, whoa. It's 3. Okay. Oh. Oh, you look cool. Oh, my longsword is breaking. It's not great. I don't even know where the others are. They're probably down here, aren't they? I'm gonna face all 3 of them now. Yeah. Oh boy. And I can't change my weapon. Oh, this is going great. I just want to not use this weapon right now because it's gonna break. Well, that surprised me, but oh my god, they look cool. Oh, that's some cool-ass dudes in armor, or ladies in armor. Oh, I want to get back to them. Maybe I shouldn't have sent the partner away. No, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure I can find a way to beat him. I'm sure. Is that guy even aggressive? If I don't... Oh, yes, he is. Well, it's not like I have any souls to lose, so... Here goes a bad idea. Yeah! That was very bad aiming. Well, sorry to deprive you of your fun, forlorn. Okay, let's see. Nope, you have to jump. Fool me sideways! And I'm dead again. Okay, but not for the reason I thought. Oh my god. Yeah, that was gonna happen. There's something about the mechanics of invasion and summoning I don't understand. Use this item to reverse hollowing. It also weakens the links to other worlds, preventing invasions and most cooperation. Wait, so if... So I can only get invaded when I'm hollow, and I don't get invaded when I'm human? Oh, shit. Oh. Oi, boy. Okay, this sword is working for me a little bit. Oh my god, a bonfire! Oh my god. That is quite lovely. That's pretty close to another one, but still, I like that a lot. That's good. You... an enemy? No?
Oh, why can't they all be this easy? We've got a wild one here. Shape up. Shape up, I say. Oh, that's it, yes.
What kind of fantasy is he having right now?
Flame. I smell flame upon you. I'm McDuff, the blacksmith.
McDuff?
All I want is a little flame. So, hand that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile.
Sure.
What a marvelous ember. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
Well, that was hidden behind an explosive barrel. Okay.
Flame, dear flame, I give you my all, and you waver and falter.
Well, that seems,
From the start of time, flame allowed man to flourish, and even now he devises new fiery arts, but his reason makes him doubt flame. And so we waver and falter.
flame, huh?
Flame, power of the gods. In the end, it is all beyond our reach. And so, flame allures us, and we attempt to harness its power. Flame, dear flame.
This guy is a little bit obsessed with fire. So, because he's sitting on a chest, right? So if I come back with a torch, will he follow me? Look, this is fire.
I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame, be gone.
Okay, well, that would have been too easy. Look, there's fire over here. Yay. Pretty fire. pretty... No? You don't want... No? Okay, well, I just gotta loot the rest of them and then... Can I open this? No, for reasons. Well, because there's dogs out there, that's why I can't open it. So I'll figure it out. Oh, hey, he moved! Nice! What's in the chest? Craftsman's hammer. That's a weapon? It's actually kind of strong. Wait, is that Andre's hammer then? That would be cool. But yeah, this guy seems to be talking a lot about the cycle of kindling and Age of Dark and stuff. I don't know exactly how to parse it though. Okay, oh my god, really? Leave me the fuck alone! Yeah, okay, fine. Like, if you... Dogs, god damn it. What the hell's his deal? Wait, what? Wait, what? Thanks? Well, that was kind. Thanks. What the hell? I'm so used to invaders trying to kill me. Friendly man, thank you, St. Nicholas Censored. Right, okay, I need to reinforce some weapons, and the thing is, I haven't really decided what weapon I want. I mean, obviously I want to learn how to use the Ultra Greatsword, but the Bastard Sword, for the moment, maybe with an option to go into the Drang Lake Sword with a little bit more dexterity, seems to work for me at the moment, at my current stat level anyway. So... there we go, that's what I like to see. Now I'm doing some damage. Right, so I remember there's an ambush in here. I walk in, and immediately those guys come targeting me. Yeah. Okay, can't one-hit kill them. Can't do that at all. I should be able to... he was out of... Oh! That was an explosion. Was that me or him? Okay. So if I line myself up just right, and... Oh! Oh! I made it! What the... What? Okay, the shortcut, not worth it. That works. More... Oh my god, why are there so many? Okay. There we go. Managed it. I live! With a limit on how many times the enemies spawn, how do you even grind in this game? Like, do you just have to grind in New Game Plus? Is that it? Okay. Yes, everything cool? Alright. So then we do this, and then we do that. And now, finally, take two. Hi. And I think my priority one is going to be not to fall down where the other ones can get me. So these are sisters, I take it. Or just partners, I guess. But I really dig the lanky design on these bosses. Like that tall, slender, lanky. It's interesting because also in terms of the ways that it represents femininity, there's some interesting stuff going on there. Okay, that's one. Right. Okay. So there's one down there. And the moment I jump down... she's gonna jump down. Oh, they can jump up! I thought I was safe. Oh, man. F me sideways. Okay, well, 2 of them is more manageable. They're sharing the... okay. Alright, okay. Tall ladies. Very tall. Very large. Oh my god, they're so cool. I wonder how much difference there is between them individually. It seems like they're all uniform completely. Which, you know, from a character design perspective, can be a little boring when... oh, she can throw her shield! Does she pick it up? No, she just becomes faster. Okay. Great. That's wonderful. Heal. Let me heal. Let me heal. Let me heal. Let me... thank you. You're so nice. You're very kind. Okay, I have no idea which one is which. But 3 sisters, huh? That would be... nope, nope. We're not doing that. You're not surrounding me. You're surrounding me. Okay. 3 sisters is visually an interesting idea. Because, again, returning to the old ladies at the start, right? Oh, boy. Oh, don't do that. Alright, 2 of them is manageable. 3 of them I think it would have been dead long ago. But 2 of them I can handle. I say right before I do some stupid mistake and die! Okay, I think I'll get that life gem off. Yes. Okay. So... oh, that anatomy is so cool. Because the really cool thing about them is that they don't actually look unnaturally lanky. I think, in fact, they're... ow, damn it, how did that hit me? I think, in fact, their proportions are correct. Like, I think they're no more than 9 heads high, maybe? Which is sort of, like, within the range of what looks quasi-realistic for a human. But the tall, slender aspect, first of all, it lends them a lot of grace, which the character design... oh, boy. The last one's gonna get powered up now or something, isn't she? Or angry or something. But that's interesting. The real threat of this area is just all the bullshit in the area, not actually any of the bosses. But they're not, like... that's the thing that's very different from the other dudes in armor warriors. Like, I think even of someone like Ornstein and Smaug, like... Ornstein is the Dragon Slayer guy, right? Yeah. Ornstein even is still, like, primarily defined by visual signifiers of power and ability, rather than grace and... I mean, he's the more agile of the two, but grace and agility is not really the hallmarks or signifiers of the guy. The signifiers of Ornstein, specifically, are still muscular male power. I got him, by the way. I beat them. Are still muscular male power. Whereas Smaug, of course, is 110% just big beefer boy. Right. But yeah, like I've been harping on about, the Ruin Sentinels are very graceful in their character design. They're designed around being slender and also very fluid. Like, there was a lot of a focus on fluid-like movement. Like, flexible, swaying, gentle, curving. No! What the hell was that? Jerk. Okay, bonfire. Excellent. Be wary of inattention and then try dash. That would have been helpful to know a while ago. Okay. Excellent. Bonfire. Let's go back to Majula right away. Okay. Safety. Hooray. Let's read that soul. The Ruin Sentinel has no corporeal form. It is only an empty soul that haunts the armor. Interesting. A creation of the Jailer. So the Jailer would be the main bad guy of the area. I suppose. So yeah, I think I have waxed on long enough about the agility and grace of these apparently empty souls, or empty armors that inhabit a soul. So I'm gonna send it over to Future Skyn, maybe, who's possibly gonna have something to say about all of that, as my mouse movements makes the camera go crazy, who's probably gonna have something to say about all of that, unless, of course, we decide to make this another double or, I don't know, triple episode. Who knows? This is entirely new uncharted territory, and nobody knows. So, over to you, Future Skyn, maybe? Well, thank you very much, Paskyne, and as it turns out, this is a single episode, because the Ruin Sentinels are interesting enough that I feel like I can fill some time talking about them. So, as you know, if you've been following along with the series, I have pretty early on established a certain lens through which, so far, I have been reading Dark Souls 2, and of course, I will be applying that particular lens to the Ruin Sentinels again. But as always, a disclaimer, there are other readings that you can take to the game and other ways that you can view it than the way that I have chosen to do in this particular video series so far. But let's start with the basics of the character designs themselves. Now, I decided pretty early on that the Ruins Sentinels are probably female, because visually speaking, that's how they're coded. And when I say coded, I don't mean coded as in programming. Coding is a cultural term that refers to the signifiers that we sort of subconsciously apply to certain bits of media. For example, in the Transformers franchise, Optimus Prime is coded male because he has a male voice and a big boxy design and a certain shape language, whereas a Transformer like RC is very heavily coded female. Now, RC and Optimus within the lore of their story are robots from outer space that turn into trucks and vehicles, and there's really no reason why they would have a human gender concept, but the creators of Transformers coded the characters with human gender characteristics in order to create male and female characters for the purposes of storytelling. So, Optimus Prime, big boxy frame, deep masculine voice, whereas RC is pink, more curvy in her design. Certain versions of her design imply that she has breasts, and she wears lipstick in certain versions on her big transforming outer space robot face. Now, I should stress that character coding isn't like a good or a bad thing. It's a neutral term. It's merely a descriptive term. Coding is something that human beings do when we tell stories. It's kind of inherent and pretty much inevitable. So as a critical point of discourse, coding doesn't really come into the discussion until there is some part of the way in which characters are coded that is worth criticizing. So in cartoons, for example, oftentimes you will see characters coded female by giving them extra pronounced eyelashes and shape language that implies breasts. And the criticism there is that maybe there's a little bit more to being a woman than, you know, titty and mascara. So, how does this relate to the Ruin Sentinels? Well, it comes down to the ways in which these characters are coded female, because these designs are a great example of how to do it a little bit more complex than just mascara and titty. Now, just like how Optimus Prime is coded male despite, you know, not actually being a man as such, being coded female is not the same as saying the Ruins Sentinels are female. I've certainly been reading them as such, but at least according to the in-game lore, they are actually just empty suits of armor, which presumably don't have gender identity. Now, gender coding is a spectrum. Characters can have masculine and feminine attributes, and your reading of a particular character's coding does come down to a certain level of interpretation. So what's going on with the Ruin Sentinels? Well, the first and most obvious is their hourglass shape. They're slendering right around the middle. Secondarily, their shape language adopts a lot of stereotypically feminine traits. That is, they're slender, they're long, they have lots of curves going on with them rather than hard edges. And especially their helmets are a good example of this. Look at the elongated shape with that curvature inward at the bottom. The stereotypical masculine shape, think of your characters like Superman, includes a broad, powerful jawline. This, on the other hand, indicates more of a slender, long neck leading into a delicate face. Now, speaking very broadly and generally, slenderness and daintiness and fragility, indeed, are often coded stereotypically female, whereas largeness, bulk, and just raw power tends to be coded male. Now, those are design tropes that come with all kinds of obvious problems attached to them, but to Dark Souls' credit, it doesn't broadly apply those design tropes to every single female character in the story by matter of default, but rather seems to be doing it as an intentional choice when it comes to the Ruins Guardians. Characters like Sieglinde of Katarina, for example, stand out as a good example, and indeed the player who can be wearing any kind of armor and be absolutely indistinguishable from a male counterpart. So, the question to ask is, what does the female coding do for the Ruin Sentinels? And the first thing I think it does is not especially complicated. It makes them more interesting. The female coding is a distinct kind of design from male-coded characters like Ornstein and Smaug or the Pursuer or the Dragon Knight. And that diversity in design is a virtue in itself, especially in a game that gets accused so often of being a game all about dudes in armor. The second thing it does for the world building of Dark Souls 2 is that it establishes that you can have female-coded armor in Dark Souls, that it's not all coded male or gender neutral. And if you want to extrapolate from that, that tells you a few things about the kind of world that Drangleic is, the kind of roles that can be played by different people. So, moving on from the gender coding, and that only took 10 million years to get through, let's talk about some of the other elements that are at play in their character design. Because these ladies are emaciated. It's a little hard to tell during combat, but looking especially at their concept art, their armor is rendered with bulges and shapes to imply the shape of, well, naked ribs, basically, and looking at their back, they've even got a spine creeping up the backside of their armor. And this skeletal imagery stretches all the way across the rest of their armor as well, especially their hands on the gloves have a segmented look that make them look like, well, bony skeleton hands. And from a lore perspective, well, that's fairly fitting, isn't it? Insofar as we know that they are in fact not people inside those suits of armor, but souls haunting empty armor pieces and holding them together with magic, I guess. This leads us on to the final piece of the puzzle of these character designs, which is that they all look exactly alike. They are identical. They are, in fact, uniform. And I use the word uniform deliberately because the three of them functionally are essentially wardens or prison guards in the Lost Bastille. Much like the Dragon Knight before them, they are representatives of a certain power structure, namely whatever power structure rules over the Lost Bastille, and their uniform, their similarities, denote their dedication to that higher ideal. Again, not in the sense that I'm saying that the Ruin Sentinels are people with minds and agendas and ideals of their own, but in terms of what their design represents. They look exactly alike because all three of them are conforming to a certain ideal of what a prison officer at the Lost Bastille is supposed to look like, what an officer of the power structure is supposed to look like. And that gives us a couple of interesting angles for that sort of personal identity reading that I've been working on throughout this series so far. So, my reading of the Ruin Sentinels is that they represent conformity towards a certain ideal or ideology or a way of thinking that is not their own. They are literally empty suits of armor that are commanded to go and perform certain behaviors in other people's interests. More specifically, they have been commanded to guard a prison. Now, prisons can be many things. I see you over there, Michel Foucault. Do not speak up. You're not involved in this video. But on a very basic level, prisons are about imprisonment. They are about being constrained and trapped by powers outside yourself. And they are also emaciated. Like, they're not just skinny, they are skin and bones. Their ribs and spines are on display, which gives us visual representations both of death and of being deprived, of being robbed of the nutrition you need to, be a full person. And if Dark Souls 2 is, as I am positing, very much about personal identity, then we see here what happens when you allow those in power above you, the authorities, to define for you who and what you should be. We see here the consequences of complete conformity to outside ideals. And to take it just one step further, everybody faces a certain level of pressure to conform to ideals in their daily lives. We all do. It's a simple fact of living in a society. But not all pressures apply equally to all people. There's one group of human beings that are pressured more than most to be slender, skinny, perhaps even malnourished, who are pressured more than most to conform to certain ideals of exactly what they should look like. And so isn't it interesting that the characters who most explicitly display the hollowing, emaciating, dehumanizing, and sometimes even killing effects of conforming perfectly to a certain ideal are coded as women? And that's another episode of the boss designs of Dark Souls in the can. Good lord, that took me a while to edit together, despite not actually being that long of an episode. It's just that, 70% of the footage was of me dying and then heading back to a place I had already been, and dying again. Lost Bastille was a bastard. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and if you want to support the channel more directly, Patreon is available for that. You can sign up for a monthly subscription there if you want to, or you can give me a one-time tip with some of my tip jars down in the description. I also have a merchandise store now over on Redbubble. You can find a link to that down in the description. It's a bit sparse right now because I haven't made a lot of merchandise for it. There's like one t-shirt and a bunch of stickers. So if you have any suggestions for merchandise you'd like to see, maybe something Dark Souls themed, do let me know down in the comments. And hey, go check it out. Maybe you'll see something you like. Anyway, speaking of supporting content creators, as I say at the end of my videos, even $1 or $2 to content creators like me on the internet can be the same as thousands of views on a video, like literally thousands, because advertising just doesn't really pay very much, either on YouTube or anywhere else. So whether it's me or someone else, if there are online content creators whose work you enjoy, please consider supporting them directly, even with very small amounts, because it matters a lot more than you think. If you haven't enjoyed the video, well, you can click the dislike button down below. If you want to be like everyone else, you know, when they dislike things, they click the dislike button, just conforming to the standard. Sure, you can do that if you're a sheep. Or you could invent a better way. You could go outside and tie a little note to a balloon saying, I dislike this video with a URL, and send it off into the sky and let your feelings be known that way. Be a little original for once in your life. Have an independent thought, man. Don't be a slave to the system. Thank you very much for watching.